The new technology I will be introducing you today is a new bank security system to protect your online bank account from cyber attacks. The system will be adapted in core net banking system that has around 270 of Japanese SME bank institutions using it. The picture on the slide shows this technology being covered on Japanese national TV and also the most well-known economist TV program in Japan. Having a PhD in engineering, I consider myself having a domain expertise with illegal remittance discovery and prevention. I was also teaching in a university in Japan previously, covering the topics of cyber and financial security. I invented two-pass authentication and had won the Telecom System Technology Prize in Japan that is supported by Japanese Ministry of Inter Affairs and Communications, and also by the largest IT academic conference in Japan. Currently, the financial damages caused by illegal remittance within net banking via fraud access is estimated to be around $2 billion globally. It is destroying the fundamental of industry and financial system. As such, the safety of such system needs to be established. One of the reasons as to why the financial damage from illegal remittance are huge is due to weakness in existing random number table and one-time password two-factor authentication technology, which can be hacked by latest cyber attack. For example, man-in-the-middle attack, latest phishing attack, and the takeover smartphone attack. There is a big cyber attack named Operation Emmental that takes over smartphone and eavesdrops the one-time password that displayed in the smartphone. On the other hand, the latest one-time password two-factor authentication has a 10 key as shown, but they are too expensive for SME bank to deploy them. With the one-time password two-factor authentication, there exists a problem of portability where a hardware token needs to be carried around by the bank customer for each bank where they have an account. There is also the issue of operational cost due to the high cost of hardware token replacement, as well as the refresh of the batteries. As the one-time password memory is cleared, user cannot replace the battery and it will have to be changed every 5 years. And it has other problems of usage as if needs the user to input the bank account number into the token and remembering the number displayed in the token and inputting it into the computer. BankGuard SuperMatrix system solves these problems. The key difference is that it can be printed at the back of an ATM or credit card or exclusive use card. With just a printed card, it protects all sorts of cyber attacks. There are both a 1-row version and a 5-row version. 1-row version is for credit card, and 5-row version is for net banking. Being of printed media, there are no portability issues nor battery replacement issue. There is no taking over process like smartphone authentication, and it can adapt PC bank, smartphone bank, and feature phone bank. I'd like to emphasize that antivirus software and smartphone authentication can only protect PC banking. There is no mean using smartphone authentication for smartphone banking because Where the smartphone is taken over, the token apply or SMS is taken over. In other words, the user can lock only the front door, but the back door is open. Hacker attacks the weakest point, for example, feature from bank as a backdoor. So protecting net banking system is needed to be applied to any types of financial institution. SuperMatrix has two functions. One is user authentications for protecting against spoofing, and the other is transaction authentication for protecting man-in-the-middle attacks. At first, I will explain user authentication. This function can be applied not only to net banking, but also with any login, for example, credit card or reward cards login system. At first, the images are different from each user. The user is asked to click in the image asked after inputting ID and password. The corresponding image is only one. The other is dummy images. If the ID and password are stolen, illegal access cannot be executed, while the SuperMatrix table is not stolen. The key importance is that instead of using numeric values, images are used instead. If with existing random number table that uses numeric, the user can be easily deceived and input all random numbers into phishing windows that request all random numbers. This type of cyber attack was happened so many times, Japanese banks stopped to use it. Input with images protects the user to input random number with a keyboard. This can solve the problems of existing random number table, maintain its benefits such as low cost and portability. The problem of the user taking a photo of the card and upload it in a Dropbox, and image is stolen with hacking Dropbox account, can be solved by printing a word caution copy inhibited. Japanese banks and financial agency has agreed that this method works. They agree that such a user breaks the institution they cannot protect with any other technology. We have to protect not user breaking the institution, but the user observing the responsibility of good user with security awareness. Lack of security awareness and responsibility has always been the target of hacker attack. That is the most important point. Taking a picture is not a cyber attack problem, just a problem like writing PIN on the ATM card. Next, I will explain the other usage, transaction authentication. This is for man-in-the-middle attack. The picture shows a user, virus or illegal server, and a net banking server. The man-in-the-middle attack is virus or illegal server. At first, the user inputs ID, password, and one-time password or random number as user authentication. Next, the user inputs beneficiary's bank account number and the amount for remittance. If the man-in-the-middle attack happens, the virus or illegal server can intercept the ID, password, and one-time password and changes the benefits account number and amount of remittance. The net banking server recognizes that is a valid input and hence execute remittance command. These attacks make all one-time password and random number table vulnerable globally. Protecting against man-in-the-middle attack has become an essential technique in any banks, and the Japanese financial agency made this mandatory. The rate of man-in-the-middle attack is the proportion of illegal remittance is 7% in Japan in last year. And I believe this also a growing trend worldwide. This SuperMatrix principle is prohibiting users' input of beneficiary bank account number and enforcing user to input it by SuperMatrix method. As the hacker doesn't have the user's SuperMatrix, he cannot input his bank account, and hence illegal remittance can be stopped. How to use is, at first, user inputs the first digit of beneficiary bank account number into remittance screen. Next digit cannot be inputted directly, but selecting the corresponding image from the options. If man-in-the-middle attack happens and the hacker wants to send money to 99999, the hacker cannot find which image is correspond to 9. Also, hacker can do random guess with probably tens. But with choosing 2 digits, it hundreds. In this way, SuperMatrix can protect against man-in-the-middle attack. This slide shows the competitive advantage. We evaluate with 3 points of views: safety, cost efficiency, and convenience. In addition, we divided cost efficiency into license fee and operating expenses, convenience into operating and portability. This aspect is very important to evaluate security products. In the aspect of security, SuperMatrix provides the highest security level as it can protect from man-in-the-middle fraud. Authentication by smartphone don't provide as much security as it can be taken over by malware. In the aspect of cost effectiveness, SuperMatrix only needs printing cost, and there is no need to refresh depleted batteries. In the aspect of convenience, it presents a very easy-to-use interface for users, as it is just a matter of choosing and clicking the images, which on the other hand, one-time password needs difficult to operate each time. This is extremely portable, as the card can simply be carried along in the wallet. We have multiple success and interested both from within Japan and internationally. Firstly, Japanese core net banking system that 270 SME banks uses decided to install last week. Our collaborator company also foreign exchange system is now considering to install. Besides being used in financial industry for net banking, SuperMatrix is being considered by governments for national ID. Now we are seeking a Bitcoin debit card company. If the random number table is printed on the Bitcoin debit card, it solves 2 major problems associated with Bitcoin. The first is difficulty with real-world usage, while the second is in regards to illegal access when used virtually. BankGuard possesses quite a number of international patents. We can offer our product in 2 ways. The first is just offering a SDK. The second is offering patent license, as SuperMatrix principle is very simple, so any bank can make easily. BankGuard has successfully graduated from the top Fintech startup accelerator, Startup Bootcamp, down selected from 300 startups from 34 different countries. This was widely covered by international media. Within Japan, BankGuard inventions has received multiple awards. At the same time, BankGuard has also received interest from some research labs to take the patented technology to the next phase. Looking at the market size, we estimated it to be $5 billion globally. The one-time password market size is around $1 billion, where we feel that our two-factor authentication system can be adapted, whereby one-time password has been found to be rather costly and inconvenient in deployment. As an estimate, the market size for such new two-factor authentication is 5 times that of one-time password technology. We believe BankGuard can get 20% market share out of this. This slide shows our team and companies whom we collaborated with. Our company's international headquarters is Singapore, as we are accepted into the startup bootcamp Fintech accelerator that Singapore government supported. The company has a branch in Tokyo, Japan. The management team consists of myself, who is the CEO and CTO, and I have a PhD in protecting net banking system. We have a chief legal officer who is a lawyer and former Japanese mega bank branch manager. Our chief marketing officer was previously with Deloitte Consulting, New York. Our COO is 20 years globally and a telecom professional. Our partner company, Ensol, which is part of Sumitomo Group of companies, also acts as our sales partner in US. Thank you for your attention. Please visit our booth and get a SuperMatrix card. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to mail us. ありがとう. Thank you.